And I hassled this guy for non-stop. I used to phone him every 2 weeks. If you get a job, you get a job, you get a job. I was very persistent. I generally don't take no for an answer. And so when the pressure mounts, right, and you can feel yourself getting a bit edgy, you've just got to take a deep breath and sit back and go, right, there's a solution here. We just need always say the most important concrete you pour on a project.
The next decade of infrastructure delivery will not be defined by a lack of opportunity. It will be defined by pressure. More projects, more complexity, more expectation to deliver faster, safer, and more efficiently than ever before. And yet behind every major project is a quieter reality. Decisions made in uncertainty, standards set or lowered, in moments that rarely get seen. People whose mindset, discipline, and judgment ultimately determine whether a job succeeds or struggles. The industry often talks about capability in terms of systems, processes, and technical expertise. But what sits underneath it all is something far more fundamental: standards. Cameron Bell has built his career inside some of the most demanding project environments, where performance is not measured just by delivery, but by outcomes. Consistency, profitability, with accountability. His perspective is grounded in lived experience across major infrastructure projects, leadership roles, and high-pressure delivery environments where there is no room for ambiguity when it comes to expectations. This conversation speaks directly to a critical moment in our industry. As more projects come online and the demand for experienced engineers increases, the decisions individuals and leaders make now will shape not only project outcomes, but the long-term capability of the sector. At its core, this episode is about understanding what actually drives performance, not just in theory, but in practice, and why holding a clear, consistent standard may be one of the most important leadership decisions after all. Welcome to the Building Doors podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Cam.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me.
Look,
I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all. You've been around for so many years and done so many major projects, and like over that time. And what I thought would be powerful in this episode is when we've spoken before, you've talked about starting out in Scotland. Your experience starting there was just so different to Australia. Let's talk through the foundations of Cameron Bell.
Right, let's start at the start then. My first job in construction was when I was 18. I'd just finished school. I went and worked with my cousin who was a site engineer, and I was his peggy. What you call a peggy here, we call a chainman. Mm-hmm. And I did that for the full summer before I went to university. And basically learned how to set out and do survey work.
Yeah.
And labour.
We don't do that here. We don't do the survey first.
No, definitely not. And then during our summer holidays, we are very much pushed to get a job in Scotland in our construction industry. So Scotland's very much, all the roads are built. So we do a lot of building. So I was in the building game back home. We did a lot of different types of building. We did industrial warehouses. We did social housing. We did luxury flats, Ministry of Defence work. And I worked for a company during my summer holidays. They sponsored me in my last 2 years at uni. So that was really good because I went through my last year at university and I didn't need to go for interviews because I knew I had a job.
Great.
And it's actually quite funny. We're always going about how small the construction industry is in Australia. One of the project directors that we're working with just now, he knows the guy that gave me my first job.
No.
He used to work with him. Yeah.
Is it like a small industry overall?
Well, yeah, I reckon so.
I think so.
Worldwide, and he knows a lot of people that I know back in Scotland.
Yeah.
So after I finished university, then started building buildings, basically.
Yeah.
And you go on site, you do 12 weeks at uni and survey, and then you hit site. My sister, she's also an engineer, and I goes, what am I going to be doing when I go to site? And she's going, oh, you'll be shadowing somebody for about the first 6 months. And he disappeared after the first day.
No.
Yeah. I never slept for the first month.
Yeah.
So I had a concrete squad, I had a bricklaying squad, I had a drainage squad, and I had to do all the setting out.
Yeah.
And all the survey work. We don't have surveyors, we don't have foremen. The engineer does it all. So we order all the materials, we do all the setting out. So what you do is it's a really good, strong grounding in the industry because you've got to learn how to deal with people for a whole heap of different social backgrounds. You've got to learn how to program because they're going to hit you for day works if you're not any good. So you learn who can go fast, who can go slow, which one needs your attention first. And you learn how things are built. And I think it stood me in good stead because I look at a lot of things in 3D. And I'm pretty proud that I think I'm pretty good. I can look at drawings and go, right, I know how I'm going to build this because of that background. Whereas I think it's kind of lacking here.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Australia. And when I moved to Australia, it was a bit of a shock to the system because all of a sudden we're in charge of cost.
Yeah.
Whereas back home, the structure's completely different. You've got quantity surveyors, they look after all the money. We look after the site. And then we report into a project manager or a site agent.
So you didn't, in Scotland, you don't look after the commercial side as an engineer?
Not one bit.
Okay.
Not one bit.
That's
Not until you become, it's quite strange actually, because you come up, you're actually in charge of constructing things and building it and getting in the program right and getting it there on time. You do productivities to a certain degree, but the QS, they'd sign up all the subbies, they decide who you're using, they tell you who you're using. We had a buying department. We used to write out site requisitions and then they purchase the materials, they get you a phone number and you just get it delivered.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you're a foreman, basically, with a surveyor mixed together.
Yeah, such a different role than what we do.
Very, very confronting in some ways. Like you used to start with 10 labourers in the morning. With Smoky, you get rid of 5 of them. Like, because they weren't any good. Or
so you have to learn at a young age as well.
100%.
How to manage performance
100%,
of people.
100%.
Okay, and the other question I had is, why did you choose that pathway? Like, why did you choose engineering overall?
Well, it's kind of strange. My cousin, right? So my sister went into engineering as well, but my cousin was like my brother. I don't have any brother, I've only got a sister. And he was going to be a pharmacist at one point, and then he couldn't get into pharmacy, so he chose civil engineering. And then my sister then went down the civil engineering path, and I used to love building Lego. I just love it,
Yeah.
And it's just something that I really enjoy doing, And you spend that many hours doing it. If you don't enjoy it, it's really difficult.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's one of the key interview questions you should ask is, do you like your work?
That's actually a great question.
And I've never like...
No one ever asks it, but
no,
it's a good
100%.
one.
Because...
Do you like what you do?
Because if you're struggling to go to work, it's a long day.
Yeah.
And it affects everybody around about them.
Okay, so then talk me through, you come over to Australia and you're like, oh yeah, gonna do an engineering role, and it's completely different.
Oh, mate. So I came over to Australia. It was very difficult at first to get a job. I couldn't get a job, to tell the truth. I ended up working in a kitchen as a dish hand.
Stop.
3 months washing dishes.
Wow.
And I have got a new respect. Like even at this day, I stack all the dishes for the waitress. Like it's a hard gig. Really hard gig.
Do you clean dishes at home really well now too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I can imagine you've got a good attention to detail.
Yeah, it was hard work. Did that for 3 months. Then I worked as a labourer. I applied for a job as a supervisor because I thought, right, I've got a better chance. I'm more like a supervisor here. And I applied for a job as a supervisor with a builder. And I worked for him for about 3-4 months. And then in the last day of my honeymoon, I'd went for some interviews at this point, and everybody told me that Walters were a great company to work for. Going, if you can get a job with Walters, take it. And I hassled this guy for non-stop. I used to phone him every 2 weeks. If you get a job, you get a job, you get a job. I was very persistent. Because I generally don't take no for an answer. And I just hammered this guy, and he passed my CV on to people that are recruiting to build a job in Townsville. And then my last day of my honeymoon, I went for an interview and got the job.
How many times, like I tell this because I'm actually talking with students, I think it's next week at QT, and one of the things that they're going to be discussing is how to go out and get a job. And I think people are hiding behind applications.
Oh, no, man.
You can't be rocking up and being consistent. And I think we need to get rid of the idea that it's hard work to either come into a new country or get your first grad position. Yeah,
and you've got to take a chance. You've just got to be persistent, show your CV, And then I just kept, this guy took interest in my CV, and because he took interest, I just went, right, every 2 or 3 weeks.
And you just, and what level was the guy that you kept following up with?
He was a project manager for the building side.
Every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And did you like diarise it? I'm going to keep following up with this.
No, I wasn't that organised back then, to be honest. And I just kept phoning him and going, boom, for I'd email him, you got a job. And he told the project manager it was going to this project, we're struggling to get staff to go to Townsville. And he goes, this guy keeps bothering me, phone him. And I went in, went for the interview, got the job, and moved up to Townsville.
So this is an interesting point, and I want to talk a little bit about it. You were willing to go regional, right? So
Correct.
Straight up, you're like, I'm going regional. I'm going to go where I need to go to
I
get
just
the
had to get a job and get experience in Australia.
So what's the lesson then for our graduates and our engineers that, either come over from overseas or are looking to get their first break? What advice would you give them?
You've got to take the first opportunity you can get and then stick with it. And one of the things I look at is you either do 2 jobs, you've got to do a minimum of 2 jobs or 2 years. One or the other, right? If you start jumping ship after the first 6 months, it's not a good look.
No.
So you've got to, even, it doesn't matter how bad it was, you've got to stick it through. And I had a steep learning curve in my first job. I applied for a site engineer's job, got the site engineer's job. The project engineer never rocked up. The SP never rocked up. Before you know it, I'm a PE doing a cost complete. I was really bad. So I don't know how they never sacked me, to be honest. I thought CTC was a formula. I overanalyzed it. And, it was a hard learning curve.
I think it's interesting you look back, now, you're like, I just didn't know what I was doing, which of course you wouldn't, right, going into that role. No. How did you navigate it and keep your job? What was it that you think helped you to stay the course?
To be honest, I think they didn't have MDLs. But to me, it was...
Well, it is the middle of town.
Yeah, it was pure perseverance.
Yeah.
And it was hard work for everybody on the job. The job was... It was underbid. We were losing money. Back then, it was 55 million, but I'd imagine it was a couple of $100 million now. It was 800 ton of structural steel sitting on top of post-tension walls, the sugar shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the death as well, which was, it altered the whole project as well, which was pretty sad. And it was a hard job. And it was a real good learning curve that I actually used later in my life when I actually went and built a job in Townsville. And I look back and I goes, the project manager, his name was Fraser Ramsey. And I goes, mate, this must have been how Fraser felt. Yeah, it was hard work.
What did you learn? Like early on, going through the challenges you did on that job, how did that shape you as an engineer and construction manager?
Detail, mate. Everyone's detail.
Yeah.
You've got to do the hard yards, set it up early, get the detail in, get your quantities right, and then run with it. And you've got to do the hard yards in the first 3 months of the project and set yourself up. If you don't do it in the first 3 months, you're going to be fighting battles all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things...
And honesty. Honestly, God, I've done this from the first day that I walked through the door in my first job. If you're honest and you've made a mistake, you've got to tell them, because it's easier to fix a mistake at the start, especially when you're setting out, right? Because if you made a mistake setting out and you never told them, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands later.
True.
Yeah. So honesty is the best policy.
Anything else that you like?
It was hard work and I worked a lot of hours, but it was worth it. I stuck with it. Yeah. There was a few times I did have a dummy spit at one point, I'll admit it, but I went back. Yeah. Yeah. My wife was pregnant at the time. It just all got too much and I left. Another guy left as well because we were getting hammered. Yeah. I mean, the cost reviews were intense because we were losing money. Everybody was going, why are we losing money? And pressure mounted.
I have always wondered this because just knowing the industry, that the pressure that people get under to make money and when projects are going south, how did you learn to cope with pressure? Because I think that's actually the thing that engineers are often surprised by, but how much pressure.
Sometimes, right, so when the pressure mounts, right, and you can feel yourself getting a bit edgy, you've just got to take a deep breath and sit back and go, right, there's a solution here. We just need to find a solution. And the older you get, the more you realise that. And the higher you go, right, we've got to find a solution. It's very hard when you're in the trenches. At first, you try to build a reputation, you try to build a name for yourself, and it's very hard at first. But then you learn.
I've said this to you before because obviously we know people, lots of people in common, but Cam is known as a project manager, construction manager that makes money on projects. You're known as that, and I've told you that, and you were quite surprised.
Take it back.
Had to take it back. But one of the things that, like, it doesn't surprise me now as well, hearing your history and how you think about building jobs. But I'd love to understand now, in the role that you're in, like you're now overseeing multiple jobs.
Yep.
What are some of the foundations that you look at now when building these jobs to set them up to make money?
The people you hire at first, right? Mate, you need to put the effort in at the start and make sure you've got the right people in the right seats.
Yes.
And if you're not getting the right people in the right seats at the start, it's going to be hard work later on. You know what I mean? And during the interview process, I always say, we're not going to lower our standards. Everybody's going, oh, he was great or she was great. I'm like, don't think so. I goes, we're not lowering our standards. Let's see where we can get somebody better. Yeah. And it might take an extra couple of weeks. Always somebody better is ready to walk through that door. I'm always a firm believer. Only once in a regional job, I kind of lowered my standards a bit. It was eventful and we muddled through. But you've got to set your standards at the start with who you hire at the start. And set the bar in the interview. Okay. You've got to say, like, I always say to my project managers or whoever's interviewing, I goes, this is the start of performance management. I goes, you've got to set the bar and go, right, this is what we expect, this is what we want, and this is what the whole team is going to strive to. And one of my biggest teams that I did in a project up in the Sunny Coast, they used to then take them, once it started, like site engineers, and do a site induction with them and go, look, if you have a day off, one of us has got to carry you. I go, so don't be having a day off. And they actually did that off their own back. They'd give them a site induction. So they do the site induction and then they do their own team induction and go, this is a team, this is mentality. Which I was quite happy about because it drives it. Then everybody's involved. Everybody's trying to solve problems. If there's any issues, everybody's united in getting the job done.
How do you, when you say you set a high standard, like you and I both know there's the technical capability that you have with your engineers, and then there's the other stuff, the personality, the ability to collaborate, the ability to communicate we were talking about before. How do you get that winning formula that you're looking for when you're looking for engineering, contracts admin, those kind of stuff? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for somebody with a can-do attitude, not necessarily technically brilliant. The can-do attitude outweighs the technical brilliance. Everybody's got the backbone. Everybody knows how to do things. Main road specs are pretty easy how they're set up. If you follow the main road specs, it's they're pretty good, right? And once you know them, you can develop them and you know the loopholes, you know how to glide through them, right? You know how to program, you know how to build. It's getting somebody who's got a willingness to learn and improve and continue. There's what you should be looking for. And it's how they come into the interview. Do they arrive early? Do they arrive on time? Are they late? If they're late, how do they react about being late? And it's things like that. And then when you're asking the questions, it's how they answer the questions. There's so much, and it's how they hold themselves. I've had some weird and wonderful interviews. I've had people lying across tables.
What?
Yeah, actually lying across the table as if they're asleep. Actually, I asked that person, I goes, if you've got low muscle tone, I thought he must have low muscle tone. He was too tired because he was sitting there that long.
Hang on, he lied down.
Yeah, mate, across the table. And I was like, mate, what is this?
Okay, I've got one. Do you know, I had once, it was way early on, I think it was at John Holland, and we were recruiting, it would have been like an EA role, I can't remember. Yeah. But we asked the person, what were some of the things, and it's way back I think we were asking her to tell us a bit about some of her strengths at work, or what does she feel she brings into the role. She literally opened her phone and got messages from her ex-boyfriend and read out to us that they were her strengths. You couldn't make it up, right?
Yeah.
You get some corkers over the years with what people do in an interview. Where has someone let you down in an interview where you've thought it was going to go well, or, on paper? Because I love this story too. Sometimes people on paper can look so good.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then you interview them, you're like, wow. And especially now with AI assisting resumes and stuff, there's a lot of discussion around.
Yeah, we get a lot of CVs just now because we've got all these mega jobs that we're trying to put people on. We go through a whole heap of analysing the CVs first, and then we shortlist.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just get them in and you interview them and go, man, we got that one wrong. That CV looks so good.
I know. I've had that too.
Yeah. I've had people that have came in and they can't speak English.
Yeah.
Or they've practiced the interview questions that they think, and then you actually employ them, and then they can't speak English. They're walking about with translator.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and you've got to deal with it. The first 3 months and then extending the probation, you've just got to deal with it, because after the first 3 months, then it's a lot of effort, a lot of time to get rid of that person, and the damage they've already done is just unlimited sometimes.
And how do you set the right culture on projects as well from the outset? So you've talked around having a high standard of how you hire, rigor.
Yeah.
What about now? Because we're dealing so much with joint venture projects. We're dealing with all these other challenges. How do we shape a culture when there's so many different
I always say the most important concrete you pour on a project is the concrete footpath that leads into the office, because that's the standard you're accepting at the start.
Yeah.
So if that's just like, I've got an extra couple of cube and they've just smeared it like a cake, nah. Everybody's going to see that standard when they walk in the door and go, they don't really care, So the concrete, everything, the site office set up, how the site office is kept, all sets the standard.
What about the biscuits? Got to keep the biscuits.
Oh mate, you've got to keep the sugar up.
Do you remember?
Sugar in the coffee.
Do you remember we were I don't remember. We worked at a company together once, and they decided through cost-cutting measures to get rid of the biscuits. It was an uproar. But it's the little things.
100%. 100%. When you're walking in there, and it's the standard,
Yeah.
It's the other thing I do is when I was a project manager, you had 3 months to go through all your cost codes and see, right. And I'd report where I think the job's going to go. And I find in the JVs, a lot of them do this already. Like some of the JV partners actually set a benchmark. They go, right, project manager, here's the bid. He goes through it. He reviews it. He adjusts a few things. He goes, right, this is a green sheet. This is what I'm going to sign off on. I think it's good. Then he owns it. You know what I mean? So the company we used to work for, you had 3 months to point out all the estimating errors.
Yeah.
The guesstimate, as I call it. God help you, Tim. But anyhow, the guesstimate. Because you never win a job at the right price.
No.
I don't care what MD says. It's a pure fluke.
Yeah.
Right? You win the job, and it's like, right, great. The first couple of hours of euphoria, you're going happy days, we won the job. And then it's like, right, what did we miss? It's a bit different now because it's so busy. And you don't know, right? So you bid a job and it could be a wide from the lowest to the highest. And you could be unusually low bid, but you're still bid it right and you know you've bid it right.
Yeah.
It's just that the other parties don't want it.
Yeah, that's happened too. Or they pull out. That's happened recently as well.
But it could go the opposite way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll win a project from third or that you're not expecting at all.
We're very good at that. Yeah. Yes. Giorgio is very good at winning for second or third place.
Yeah.
We are over the moon when we win for second or third place. Because that means our methodologies won it. We love doing good methodologies. And we spend a lot of time and effort on it. And they used to, like Sean, my boss, he used to have wee men that were minus arms and he used to paint them on to get the methodology. This is how he's holding the hammer.
Really?
But the technology now, we've got a guy and he just helps. And he does all this and he models it now.
Yeah.
And I just draw sketches and go, right, this is what we want at each stage. And you can see how you're going to construct it at every single stage.
So
But
what?
then you go in the JV partners, the big guys like Langer Works, they've
Yeah.
got whole places in England that just produce detailed method statements
Yeah, okay.
and videos that you can see it, how you're going to construct it. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what wins jobs then? Is it price? Is it methodology? Is it relationship? What do you think? I'm just fascinated by, do we think is it methodology? Is it relationships? Is it price still?
It depends what type of contract.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's everything you just mentioned, 100%, right? It's just what percentage,
Yeah, true.
right? So generally if it's a hard dollar, it'll come down to the price, right? But then I always think there's a personal point of view as well. And somebody will go, yeah, they're a good company. We'll move them in. But what you'll find is now that a lot of the clients are going, look, we want to have our percentage score. We want to have a portion that we can score so that we can then say, right, all right, they might be the lowest price, but their methodology is better. They want cost certainty. Everybody wants project, program, and cost certainty. And that's where we spend a lot of our effort.
So you're going up through the ranks. You've come to Australia. You've started out as an NG. You've had to learn on the go. You started washing dishes, so you weren't afraid of hard work. Now you're at the peak. We're about to hit a peak pipeline with multiple projects, resourcing. Yeah. What has challenged you in this journey as a leader? Because that's the level you've been in for quite some time. But you've gone from being a leader of projects to like a leader of multiple jobs and a leader of a culture now.
I think that's one of the hardest things for me is not getting too involved. Like we're all frustrated. I joke we're all frustrated project managers. I think one of the best positions is a project manager because you're in charge of your own destiny.
Yeah.
Whereas the next level up, you've got to trust the project managers underneath you.
Yeah.
You can give them all the advice under the world. You can go and lead questions. What about this? What about that? And you can try and help as much as possible, but it's the project manager's responsibility to deliver.
How do you handle it? And I'm genuinely asking because I actually find this really hard. What about if you do, have you ever trusted and then someone's let you down?
Yeah.
How
you just need to put it down as a learning process.
Yeah. I feel like that's the hardest thing. No one talks about that.
And I goes, listen.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you. I goes, and I've had this happen recently. I goes, I tried to tell you. Would you have done it different? And sometimes say yes, sometimes say no. All depends on the person.
So, and if it goes wrong, do you find yourself, if it goes wrong, do you still have that temptation to want to go in and fix it? Or do you find now at the level you're at that you're able to?
I find that we panic slowly and we go in and go, right, what's the solution? Even for a young generation like Walters, right? If you had a cost blowout, you had to go in and say, right, I've had a cost blowout. This is how it's moved, but here's how I'm going to recover it. And if you went in and did that, they were happy. And that's what I've tried all the way through my career. Right, this is going to happen. Here's how we're going to recover it. You've always got to walk in with a solution. If you walk in and go, it is what it is, you're not the right person, eh? They're the 5 worst words that you can say. It is what it is. Because it's not as what it is. There's always a solution. You're just not looked hard enough. Is what I think. And I've had some long weekends. And I can remember one job in particular on a Sunday afternoon. I had the eureka moment and I found how I was going to recover it on a Sunday afternoon. And sometimes you just need silence. You just need everybody away so you can actually concentrate on it. And then you find it.
So much of your role, like every day, and all engineers, supervisors, everyone building a project is literally problem solving all the time. Yeah.
And communication. Communication. I cannot underestimate how good communication is. Like I used to love lean construction, the sticker board meetings. We used to have rooms set up for it in one of the projects. And we used to have 60 people in there. It was a bit chaotic. Everybody got up, present what they had to do. We'd then look at what we'd done the week before. Had we met the targets? Why did we not meet the targets? Do a percentage. We'd then see if we were raising enough problems during the meetings, because with the whiteboard were the problems, but that's an issue. Who's going to resolve it? Action. And I used to colour it if the action was, I still do this and I like my meetings. If it's orange, it's a week overdue. If it's pink, it's 2 weeks overdue. If it's red, it's 3 weeks, what you doing? And you can tell, and you put the initials up, and if you change the colour, it's still not resolved. What you doing? You said you were going to fix it, you're not fixed it. And I've done this in other things, variation boards, I put that up in my office as well. And then everybody can see it, and I'll come back to that because it's a good way of recovering money because it's psychological. Because when your client walks in, he sees the variations before they've even been submitted, and you've got a number beside it. And I always think, oh yeah, and if he stands and he looks at it, you can have a conversation, it's a talking point. And then when you hand it in, he's thinking, oh yeah, I already know this. And he's already been in the journey, the start of the journey. But the sticker, we're going back to the sticker board meeting. The key to the sticker board meeting in lean construction, and what I found was I did a presentation one after Christmas in a toolbox. And the biggest thing, if the people that introduced lean construction was Skanska, and a Swedish company in Europe. And there used to be a YouTube video, and they used to actually communicate with the guys on site because they treat their guys on site like electricians, semi-professional. And here's the deadlines, and they had their own whiteboards. And we are very bad at doing this in Australia. And I did this presentation at Toolbox. The superintendent was away for an extra week, and he goes, Cam, you need to go up there and do the presentation for the North. And I presented all the traffic staging because it was very specific order we had to build this, and it looked weird if you never knew what the traffic staging, and people never understood why we were doing certain things in certain order. And after that, they all went, mate, now I understand. And then you get the whole project then buying into the plan. Really, really important.
For those that don't understand lean, tell us about, give us just a bit of a snapshot in what the purpose is of the methodology and where it comes from.
Oh, well, it came...
Is it from Toyota? Or
Skanska.
Skanska.
I believe it was Skanska. Well, I was told it was Skanska.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So they created it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then what's the purpose of it? You know how you've got different ones. You've got agile and all different terms. Agile is probably more technology, IT methodology.
Yeah.
But lean, what's the premise? What's it designed to do, and how do people think of it?
It's meant to make sure, well, this is what I believe, it's meant to make sure that everybody understands how we're constructing it, how all the parts come together, what affects a certain thing starting, so that then you're resolving the issues before they're actually an issue. That's how I see it. So we used to start off, I had an old house that we'd resumed. How big was this room? I would say it was about 40 metres, and it was covered in wallpaper that was basically squares the size of a Post-it note. And every 3 months, we'd take all the Post-it notes off, get the lead planner, he'd get a seat with his computer in the middle of the room, and he'd put the first Post-it note up and goes, here's the milestone, this is what we've got to hit. And then everybody would then go up and put the Post-it notes on, and they all had to talk to each other. So the environmentalists had to talk, the safety had to talk, the engineers had to talk, the supervisors would get then buy-in, and we would cover this room and Post-it notes. And then each engineer every week had to go up and present, here's the programme, and in detail. And then I'd keep everybody awake by firing questions of the supervisors. Do you agree with this? Is this what you believe? And it's very, very powerful tool. But I've seen it work and I've seen it not work. And the reason it worked in that job is because the superintendent was bought in it. And he would hold his supervisors accountable. Yeah. Where I've had the other jobs where the superintendent's more, this is holding me accountable. Yeah. Where it's not. It's holding the team accountable.
It's so interesting as well because so much goes on, and you talked to before about the project manager, setting the standard of the job, managing the profitability of the job. But then you and I both know that underneath, you've got your superintendents, your engineers. This dynamic of everybody needing to collaborate and work together is a real thing because you have one or two bad eggs that can poison an entire job.
And that tells the good engineers and the good supervisors.
Yeah.
They know how to communicate with each other. When things go wrong is how they react. And you can tell from an early point yeah, he's a blamer or he's a team player.
Yes.
And it's the two, and you go, you're right here.
You've just hit something.
Yeah.
I had someone interview, I won't say when because the person might listen to the podcast, but somebody interviewed and had a negative experience with their employer, right?
Yeah.
They were feeling negative about it. And I actually gave the feedback.
Yeah.
If you are going in blaming the employer or everyone around you for the culture, then it can look like exactly what you're saying there.
Yeah.
That it can look like that you're not taking accountability. Whether you're disgruntled with the employer or whatever the case might be, I never thought of it that way. Like I've thought about it from an interview perspective because everyone knows you're somebody that's just ragging out continually from their previous employer is that it's everyone else's fault or external locus of control. Everything happens to me. But then how do you start to tell it on a job? So say you've hired them. What are the signs you look for where you know that they're going to be a challenge?
Timekeeping. That's if they're clocking out at 5 o'clock on the dot. Mate, that's an early warning sign. They don't turn up to toolboxes. Early warning sign. They're just relaxed. Like, I don't mind people being relaxed at work. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind people going home on time, but sometimes you've got to stay back. You phone them at 5:05, phone's off.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I'm phoning you.
Yeah.
And I know we're in the psychosocial era, but some things don't stop.
Yeah.
And it's wee small things like that. It's how they care if something goes wrong, how they react.
Yeah.
Like I once had we're lifting in bridge beams in a project, and the SPE had just miscalculated the program, didn't have his lifting pad design done. And it's like, I've screwed up. I'm not getting a lifting pad design done. And it's like a week out. And I'm like, here we go. So I went out with him, I stood with him and his PE, and we worked it all out. And he goes to me, why are you here? And I goes, well, you've screwed up. So I've screwed up. I goes, you're a part of me. It's like Ben Hur when they're all in the galley. They're all rowing together, they're all chained together. You're a part of me, you're chained to me. It's not you've screwed up, we've screwed up. And he goes, mate, I've not seen this. The last guy would have just went, nah, you need to fix it. And I spent a week fixing that with him. And but it's the overall program. You've just got to try and keep the program. The biggest cost in the job is the daily cost. It's the staff. And that's how you recover the most. It's getting a EOT that's we cost. Yeah.
So now you're on a journey as well where you've got all this work coming. Your role has changed over the years too. What's challenged you as a leader stepping out of, because you're still across projects, but so much more, so much bigger, and so much more to be across. How do you maintain the same standards, the same leadership, but evolve now to the next phase of your career?
It's a lot more making sure people are happy and everything's okay.
Yes.
It's a lot more hands-on, talking to people, which can be very difficult for people that are socially awkward. You know what I mean? You've got to walk up to them and go, how's it going? What are you working on today? Any issues? And it's the small conversations. I learned this again at Walters, my contracts manager. He used to walk in and I used to watch him. This is a key part. You've got to watch people and learn from them and what they do. He used to walk in and talk to every single person on the site before he went and sat with the project manager. He knew exactly what was happening before he sat down. And that's what you do. You just walk and get different people's opinions and find out what's the true story. Because you should never jump to the first conclusion.
Yeah.
You should always go, right, yeah, that's one opinion.
Yeah.
And you need to take on more opinions. And I find you look at a lot of your risk and opportunity. Every time you have a conversation, you're working out, right, what's the risk, what's the opportunity? Reputation, time, they're the two biggies.
So you're finding now it's more about how do you build a culture? How do you have people that are happy at work, engaged at work?
Yeah, there's that, but they've also got to perform, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to hold them and go, right, that's great. Well, we can have good times, we can have fun time, but you've got to perform. You've got to meet the deadlines. It's like traffic switches. Always say a good traffic switch, right? Everybody celebrates switching the traffic. I celebrate the profiler starting. I'm like, is the profile? This is the first question I ask. When's the profile starting? Because the profile starting the next day, everybody's driving past can see, man, they're no screwing about.
No.
And it's building that culture to think like that.
How do you build a, okay, so we've talked about, obviously you got to hire the right people that have a high standard of work for themselves.
Yeah.
That genuinely care about the quality work they do, want to problem solve, all of those things. Now, the other question is, how do you and I both know these projects can be a couple of years and it can be a hard slog. And for even the highest performers, it can get exhausting. You even talked to me about early on in your career.
You get burnout.
You had those days where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Everyone has it in any job, that is high pressure.
Yeah.
How do you keep that morale? This is always like when the job's losing money
it's worse when the job's losing money.
Yeah.
It's the worst. And trying to keep morale is very, very hard, especially if you're a project manager and you know it's losing money. It's a hard slog, and you've just got to go, look, here's a plan, come up with a plan of recovery, and then communicate it and get everybody to buy in. It goes, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to recover it. Here's the plan. Yeah, some jobs have done PowerPoint presentations to show it. This is what I need for you guys, and this is how we're going to do it. And try and celebrate the small wins. And then it's amazing how a traffic switch, for example, is a good win. And you go, man, we've met that milestone, right, on to the next one. And it's there's nothing worse than the pressure of being in a big hole. And always remember an old wise estimator saying, the first thing they build should not lose money because it sets the tone for the rest of the job. You should always have a good price in the first thing we're going to build because you're busy at the start, you're setting up the site, you're doing your cost codes, you're doing all your subcontract management, signing up your subbies, and while you're doing that, you don't know if you're getting buying gains, you're not getting buying gains, and you'd be losing money in the first thing you're building while you're still trying to do all this at the same time. It can get a bit demoralising. And then you've got to try and hold the team together. And you need a mixture. Like, the team's a mixture. Everybody's not perfect.
No.
I even had a conversation the other day with one of my guys, and he's like, he's no one of us. And I'm like, what's one of us? He goes, well, he'll not go the extra mile. He's one of these guys, he's just a plodder. But he'll turn up, he'll do what he has to do, and then he'll leave. And he forgets. So you get two different types of people.
Do you need both on a project, or is it just that
100%, because you're never going to get superstars in every seat.
No, we were talking about that before.
Yeah.
We were talking about the fact that there's a mix, but you're still going to need some of your superstars.
Yeah, 100%. And they raise the rest. And then they actually can turn other people into superstars. And the older some people get, the more they realise it. I always remember I went to a presentation with a designer. He was in at Rhodes, Australia. And he was high up in his design house, and he said, why am I high up in my design house? It's because I've worked all the extra hours. I've actually done more work, got more experience, taken more risks and more opportunities. And he goes, that's why I'm here. And if you calculate it, like we used to laugh, the 7.6 hours we used to fill out in our timesheet, right? I never worked 7.6 hours in my bloody life, right? We used to fill this out. Like, if you work out an average of 10 hours over 25 years, I've worked an extra 10 years. You know what I mean? I've done 35 hours. 35 years. So even though you get the reward at some point because you've got more experience, and you've done the hard yards, and you've got yourself. Sometimes a challenge or a job that's losing money is a good thing.
I love how you've said that. And I think that you've now reflecting, it's something you've always kind of thought of, is how one high performer can lift a whole team. I had never really thought of it until you always get the best of what you can in any role, but I've never thought about it. But you're 100% right. When you have someone that's a high performer in a team, it lifts the standard, and they have this way of wanting to lift other people too.
It's enthusiasm.
Yeah.
We're not
Energy,
accepting
passion.
it. Not accepting it. I lead conversations.
Hard bloody work.
Hard work, 100%.
There's no substitute. 100%. My dad used to always say, one of his quotes was, there's no substitute for hard work.
Nah, 100%.
You know, you
100%.
have to work hard at it, whether you're 100%. Talented at something, whether whatever it is, it doesn't come without.
But you don't cut corners either. You don't cut corners, because your reputation is king.
True.
You'll not win much work if you've got a bad reputation.
No.
And personally, you want to have a good reputation.
Yeah, and it's a level of integrity that goes with that.
Correct.
When you know that you stand for something,
Correct.
you have to stand for something all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think integrity is a big thing in this industry that people rate highly. If you do the right thing, people have a long memory when you do the wrong thing in this industry.
Oh, 100%.
You only have to
100%.
make 3 or 4 phone calls when you're hiring someone. I'm going to be honest, everyone everyone does it. So if you think that when you're going for a job, they haven't called 3 people before they've interviewed you, then you're crazy because they have. Sorry, HR, but it happens.
Yeah.
So people have long memories.
100%.
How did you keep your integrity over the years? What was it that, because I know that that's something important to you.
Yeah. You just got to stick up for what you believe, and go, look, doesn't pass the pub test, doesn't pass the Sunday mail test.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the pub test?
The pub test. Never heard of the pub test? No. Well, if you're telling your mate in the pub, this is what happened, and he'll go, this is bullshit, mate. Yeah, it doesn't pass the pub test.
And the Sunday mail test?
Sunday mail test, how would it look on the front page?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like, so you've got to look and go, nah, it's not good. And the older you get, the more you realise, the more experienced. Like, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, but you learn. Like, this could have a serious effect. Not just on the project and not just me, but the reputation of the company.
Where did that come from you, that really high level of integrity and standards?
I don't know. It's just been bred into me, I think. Yeah. Like, my family's, I'm the black sheep, to be honest. My family's all like high performers.
Yeah.
I've got, you name it in my family, surgeons, dentists, doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good.
And now being a dad and having kids as well, how have you, I want to ask first, how have you, because this industry is hard and demanding in terms of the hours. Yeah. How have you juggled that with family?
When I became a PM, I set a new rule, like weekends. I don't do weekends unless it's really, really important. Yeah. Weekends is family time. I don't make a lot of decisions at the weekend. I'll decide what we're eating, and that's about it. Everything else is like, because my wife doesn't like deciding what we're eating, and I don't mind cooking.
Yeah.
So at the weekends, we'd kind of role reverse in that front. And she tells me what I'm doing. So she organises my weekends. I don't mind. I just chill out. Weekends are for family.
You know what? I do the same thing. You're the first person I've met. On the weekend, my husband would be the first to say, I get to the weekend, I don't, because you make all these micro decisions during the week. Yeah. On the weekend, I just want to chill. Correct. And just not have to think about making a decision or thinking about work. I think you need that shut-off time.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, though.
But you do think about it.
Yeah. Like, sometimes she catches me having conversations with myself. Don't get me wrong. And she's like, what are you thinking about? And it's like, And holidays, I like going long holidays because I tend to find it takes it can take up to 3-4 days just to chill out.
I feel it.
And forget everything that's going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a decompression. And this is when I worked up in far north Queensland. I used to love at Christmas driving home because that was 2 days of just slowing down, unwinding. So then by the time you got in the house, you're good. Yeah.
It's so hard.
There's 2 different cams. There's work cam and there's home cam. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Well, home cam makes the best Scottish butter. What's it called?
Tablet.
Oh, tablet. Yeah. That's home cam. So home cam's a bit of a cook.
Yes. Yes. Love cooking.
Chef, I'd even say.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
Well, your Scottish tablet's pretty damn good. Yeah. You haven't made that far. Did you make
still highly competitive, though. This is my issue.
Well, you you have a Thermomix now or not?
Yeah, we've got a Thermomix.
Because you can make it, but you refuse. You still...
Yeah, we still make it the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Beat the living shit out of it. Yeah. It's just sitting there stirring. Yeah. Yeah, it takes a long time. It's like a 2-3 hour journey to make that.
Yeah, well, it's bloody...
And if you don't batter it enough, it won't set. Yeah. And you don't know until you've poured it.
I think cooking as well, is a lot about standards as well. It sounds
I need a photograph. Yeah. I need to know what I'm aiming for. I will not
Such
buy...
an engineering thing. Yeah. I need the specs.
Yeah. The ingredients. photograph what I'm targeting.
Yeah. How do you now then instill like these values, like for me and you?
That's only if the project manager up the way. Like before that, I was still working weekends.
Yeah, of course.
And the wife put up a lot.
Yeah.
She's good. Yeah.
The wives are amazing. I know a wife. I was speaking.
It's very rare to find a really good one that can stick by you all the way through. And she knows the three things that are certain in life.
Yeah.
Death, taxes, and end of month report. And the end of month report waits for no person, And she knew last week, first week, you don't book holidays. In the month.
How did she manage it with you, do you feel? Like, how did she manage it so you still, like, got time with the kids, so you still got time together?
Oh, mate, I'll be honest, that was pretty absent at some points. Yeah, we've got three great kids, and I would say the majority is done it in my life, I provided. She says, my love, what do they call it?
Love language.
Love language, that's it. My love language is giving. I buy lots of nice, shiny things. And that's how I try and compensate.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not there often enough. But they're older now and they appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Tell me now what...
And I did a job, we did Origin Alliance, which was 4 years, which was at home and not that much weekend work there because it was such a successful job. We bid the job before the GFC. Everything was climbing. I was a part of the talking that, and then it fell off a cliff, so we had huge buying gains. So the biggest pressure on that job was program, because everybody wanted to finish quicker. It was the cost.
I know a wife on that job, and I think the wives are amazing. I'm really glad you mentioned your wife. And her husband was on the job and working crazy hours. She used to bring their young children up to have dinner on that job with him.
It was weird, that job, because that job had a mixture of people on it, and there was people who were doing things and people that weren't doing as much.
Yeah, I know. I have heard.
There was a lot of people.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that everybody wasn't doing things, but there was some people who were doing more than others.
Yeah. People remember that. Because then when there's another job, if you're going to cruise on through an alliance or a cost plus and if you're going to let other people take the work and just cruise in and out, people remember.
Yeah. And it's funny what you're saying, JVs, JVs, you should be able to walk into the building, and not know who each person is, what company they work for. And I've said that even if we're the lead or not the lead, I don't care. And it's the same, the gender thing as well. I really could not care less what gender you are either. I never look at somebody and go, oh, I'm not paying them as much. It doesn't even cross my mind.
No.
Because I just want them to perform. I want them to turn up, make sure they perform. I don't want them turning up thinking that they're getting paid less than what they think they're due. That's the least of their worries. You pay the market value and you get them there and you reward them if they're successful.
So for the work that you've been doing, your career in this sector, your life as a dad, what is the legacy you hope to leave?
Legacy? Oh, mate. Every time I see a yellow man, I think 50 cents. Like the yellow man, I was the person that introduced the yellow man at the Gateway, so that's one legacy. But the real legacy...
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Did you win an award for that as well?
We did.
I remember that.
We did. Me and Shane Cameron.
Yeah.
Two of us won an award for it. We didn't even win first place. We didn't even win second place. We got an honourable mention.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
You're robbed.
It was a shipyard in Cairns that won first place. I always remember. They did really well, but every time I see a yellow man, I think there's 50 cents I could have had. But anyhow. But the legacy. I want people that work for me to learn and be better at their jobs. I'd love that. I've had people come back to me after 3 years and go, I now understand what you were saying in such and such a day when you showed me this.
Yeah.
Or you questioned that. Yeah. And he goes, I now understand. I once told a group of people that were drinking too much coffee. They were working for me during an estimate. It goes, mate, you're all drinking too much coffee. You're not getting the job done. Because I kept disappearing for cups of coffee. And I always remember one of my close friends now goes, let's go for a cup of coffee, guys, after the meeting. And he came back to me about 3 years later, and he's now the manager, and he goes, I now understand the cup of coffee. And I goes, that's good.
I also, because I worked with you, I still remember when I first started recruiting engineers with you. And we used to sit on interviews together, and I definitely learned from you about standards.
Yeah.
And honestly, testament to you, many years later now, leading a business, and obviously the quality of what we do is on our standards too.
Yeah.
I get it. When I first started recruiting for you, I was like, bloody hell, Cam is painful. Like, no, we're in the middle of bloody St. George, or, I can't remember, like it was, and he's got this, like the engineers, like we had to like push that little bit further.
Correct.
To find, like you would never just take, you would, if you had to, you would take good enough. But you would not be satisfied without knowing that you had at least seen enough quality, or that the quality that you've seen was the best of what you could get at that time in that location. And I still remember, because back then, like my view was like I might have 40 roles, right?
Yeah.
And you would be like, nah, I want
you're trying to tick them off.
Yeah. So as I started, and to be fair, when I started, that's kind of how I viewed it. I was like, well, we need to fill these roles. And because often internal recruiters, they're like judged by time to fill, quickly getting through things, saving money on agents, all that sort of stuff. But what I learn now, years and years later, is that's not what makes profitable projects. What makes profitable projects are good people.
100%.
And honestly, like, and I'm not like blowing smoke up your ass, that taught me then as I grew on in my career and got older, wiser, hired my own people. No, you hold a high standard.
I still do it. I still go to a recruiter in the office and goes, are we settling here? Is this the best we can get? I goes, I think we're settling. I goes, we're not settling.
You always would say.
Yeah.
But then also,
we're not settling.
Credit to you. Yeah. If you walked out, you would know when you walked out of an interview, if they were a rock star, you go, we've got to hire them. And you'd make it happen quick.
Yeah, it's got to happen quick.
If you were decisive, if it was a yes, it was a hell yes, and it was make it happen, and you make it happen quickly. Or Ken's going to be at your desk being like, have we sent the offer out, right?
Yeah, I've had interviews over the handshake.
Yeah.
Like
you've offered people the job, in interviews before.
Yeah. I know straight away just for the handshake if they're good or bad sometimes.
Ooh.
I just go, oh, no, this isn't good.
Firm handshake, look you in the eye?
I don't mind that. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You hate is it you that hates the limp handshake?
Limp handshake's bad. Double handshake, the double hand.
What? What about double handshake, kiss on each cheek?
Oh, mate, you just know. And then you sit down and you can...
What about a hug?
And, no. Body space. No.
Yeah, no, I think that you do hold a high
You never
standard.
settle, eh?
Yeah.
If you settle on anything in life, you're giving up.
Oh, think about it as well. Like, obviously, you've picked well with your marriage. You never settled with your wife.
Yeah.
And look at how you've got beautiful children.
Oh, yeah.
Happy life. You know, and she supported you through your whole career. So it stands for, it's everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think that sometimes it takes you over time. I think when you have people working for you, when you have those high standards, I agree with you, people will rise to meet those standards, especially if they've got the drive, the enthusiasm and the passion.
Yeah.
If they come with that, I think people come with that, you can teach them so much.
Yeah. I can remember being very flippant to one of my project directors, and he came up to us and we were busy, eh? We were so busy. And the team was busy and we were humming. And that's where we used to go, we're HBT, high performing team, come on. And I used to walk up and down the corridor. But I can remember him coming up and the commercial manager as well came in my office one day. He goes, Cam. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, here we go. He goes, he's turned over 26 million last month and just in the civils team. And I'm like, well, is that not enough? And I was like, and they were flabbergasted at how much we'd actually managed to turn over. And it was just pure drive, basically. I can remember that job, and my first day on that job, and I sat down, I was taking over from a guy that you and I both know, and I sat down and I'm looking at the table and there's about 40 faces looking back to me, and I can remember sitting there going, well, I asked for this. It's me. They're all looking at me for leadership here, and I'm the manager. And I always remember going, wow, this is going to be fun. And we did it. It was hard work, though, eh?
You've got this thing, and you did it. I feel like you did it on Sunshine Motorway too. You've done it on projects. You said we're a high-performance team.
Yeah.
It's like you create this, and you do it as well in your role at Giorgio, the best people to work with, you know, and you said it earlier in the episode. So you shape a culture as well around an identity as the group that we are a high-performance team.
Correct.
We are the best people to work
100%.
with. And I think, that's
and it's really important you believe it.
Yeah.
And it's really important you inspire people to believe it, and it's more important that they raise it to actually reach it. They do what they say they're going to do. And as we deal with a lot of tier ones, and no way do we think we're tier one. We've got probably the turnover of a traditional tier one. And I love when they start going on, tier one, we do this, tier two, and I go, mate, we're not tier one, tier two, or tier three. We're just the best people they work with. And they've got to come back for that. And as long as we can back it up and prove it, and generally what you'll find is 9 times out of 10 we do it. It's good. It's good. But you've got to drive it, and you've got to deal with the people that don't. There's nothing worse than people that not dealing with something that a rotten egg.
Oh, yeah. Kills the culture.
Kills the culture.
Yeah.
It drives division. You can see it.
Yeah.
And you just go, nah, don't want them in my job. And even if they do survive and you see it, you just know, I don't want that person.
Yeah. That's what you remember.
Yeah. And I'm pretty stringent about that. Yeah.
Yes. But, you are, but,
but results talk, eh?
The results speak for themselves. So I'm going to ask you some fun questions now, Ken, which is the rocket round. And it used to be some set questions, but now I make it up every time. What's something that nobody knows about you or very few people know about you?
Oh, that's a question. Oh, well, very people.
I mean, your wife would probably know, but stuff that people generally at work might not know.
How long was in the BBs? 17 years.
What's that?
Boys Brigade.
Oh, there you go.
Which is like the Scouts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was in the Boys Brigade for 17 years. Sure and steadfast.
Okay.
That was them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get up
I actually look for that when I'm interviewing people.
Yeah.
I actually look to see if they were in the Scouts, Girls Guides, Girls Brigade, BBs. Because you learn how to be a leader. Team sports.
Yeah.
School captains.
Did you hear that, Noah? my son's school captain at the moment. I told him people look for it. I told him.
100%. Especially early in your career.
Yeah.
Not so much later. People don't put that stuff in.
No, when you're starting out. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And captain, team sports, those are good things for young people and grads to be looking to do as well.
Yeah.
Favorite holiday destination?
There's a good question. I've just been to Oslo. Oslo was pretty cool. Oslo's a cool place. I love Paris, though.
Yeah.
Paris.
Okay.
Really like Paris.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like the whole culture and the architecture.
Yeah.
And I look at things and go, how did they build that in 1800s or 1700s?
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have had money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stunning architecture in Paris, yeah.
Yeah. Good food, good wine. What
about cats or dogs?
Oh, I'm a dog person. Like we've got 2 dogs. We used to have 3 dogs, 2 dogs at the moment. And how many cats we got? Let me think. 1, 2, 3. I think we've got 3.
Oh my gosh. Why? How can you be a dog person with so many cats?
Wife's a cat person.
Okay.
Yeah, wife's definitely a cat person.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we've had cats, Arnold.
You're like crazy like my house. You got a lot of animals.
Yeah, we used to have chooks, but the snakes took the chooks. We need to get the chooks back.
Yeah.
I love the chooks. They've each,
I got on video. I have to send it to one of my chickens killing a snake.
Oh, yeah, rooster. Is it a rooster?
No, it was
No,
a hen.
Just a hen?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's unusual. Roosters will kill.
Yeah.
Did you ever have roosters? Did you ever get attacked by a rooster? We had roosters,
Oh,
but
yeah,
they
mate.
attacked the kids.
We had a rooster whose name was Princess because we thought it was a female that grew into a block. And he was vicious.
They're so bad.
He was vicious.
You turn your back and that rooster is attacking you.
I did what do you call it? The Karate Kid move on it. Kicked it square in the chest. It never came near me after that.
I'll never forget. I sent my son and his cousin down to the rooster and I just hear this.
Yeah, roosters are bad, eh?
Roosters chasing them up
You need to train them early.
Yeah. Every child needs to be chased by a rooster.
But every chook pen needs a good rooster.
Yeah, true.
Because they look after the chickens.
They do.
Yeah.
They got a job to do.
Yeah, especially rescue chickens.
Mm.
We used to get rescue chickens for kabocha. They've never seen grass before.
Yeah, I know. I do the same. The the ones they get they get them off the back of a truck, but they get them out of the egg farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get the same.
Yeah.
And they come, remember
They look terrible.
They show up, they look
100%.
so bad.
And they don't know how to scratch. They don't know how to dance. So the rooster usually teaches them.
And they don't know where to lay their eggs either because they're not used to they'll just lay anywhere and then slowly they'll start to go into their little...
You used to have goats as well.
I have goats.
Goats are a nightmare.
They're such jerks.
Goats are. Mate. How do you keep them in the paddock?
Okay, so when we had goats, so we've moved, but in our last house, I'm pretty sure we had to get electric fencing. So if people laugh when I tell them, but they have electric collars. It's the only way to keep bloody goats in.
100%.
Because in our last house, they ate our neighbours' roses. We just moved in.
Avocado tree for me. The neighbour's avocado tree.
Oh, I felt so bad. I bought them a voucher and stuff, but it's just hard, like same with avocados, roses, takes a while to grow them. So yes, you can give them a plant voucher or whatever, but the only way is this electric fencing.
I had a mother goat and two smaller goats and they used to live the 1800 fence with their horns and then crawl underneath.
Oh, yeah.
And then back it. 1800.
Yeah. I had a parkour goat. I watched it. It got to a tree stump, catapulted itself against the other tree and boom, parkour into the... And I was like, oh, we need something else.
They climb up the trees and then along the branches and jump over the fence. Yes. They're hellish.
Yeah, you need donkeys, Cam. We'll talk about that later. I could get you a donkey.
Good to eat, though. I love a good goat. Goats are good.
Goat curry.
Yeah, goat curry.
That's what we used to threaten our goats when they kept getting out.
Good to eat.
And what makes you feel like you're home?
What makes me feel when I drive up the driveway? I drive up the driveway and it's like, yes, because I've got a long driveway.
Yeah.
It's about 400 metres long and I just drive up the driveway.
Are you on land too, Cam?
13 acres, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And it's there's a dirt track up to my driveway and then up I go. And that's what I know. As soon as I drive through the Bolton Gate.
Isn't just I don't know, I've said this to people.
It's just quiet, dark.
Bloody heaven.
Yeah, I can do what I want. It's the best thing I ever did.
I think it does also help your brain shut off.
Yeah, 100%.
I know we're the same like that. I have a million things.
Hard work though, eh? Well, somebody once told me having 1 acre is as much work as having 100 acres.
True.
Yeah. It's hard work.
Yeah. Do you have a sloping block or a flat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sloping blocks are also the hardest work.
Yeah,
We've got a flat one now. We got 37.
Yeah.
But it's easier than when we had a sloping block because, all the pruning the trees. But you know what? It's bloody fun.
I love it.
I love it too. I have nothing better than I want my weekends. I'm out like you with people all week. Yeah. My weekends, I'm in the backyard, got my cowboy hat on, I'm pruning my garden.
Big fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm drenching cows. Bonfire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got the guy before us used to collect Mercedes and we've got 4 garages at the back that's now a man shed. It's got pool table.
Oh, Cam. Stop it. Don't give my husband ideas if he's listening to the episode because we've got a shed out the back that we don't use.
It sounds better than it actually looks, but it's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the episode.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That was so fun. I really enjoyed
it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and I think you covered so much that's going to be really valuable to people. So thank you for making the time. I know you're really busy, so I appreciate it. If this episode gave you new insights, don't let them go to waste. Take action, apply them. And if you want more insider strategies from the best in construction and infrastructure, make sure to subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the leaders who open the most doors aren't waiting for opportunities, they're building them.